9 News at Noon starts right now.
Well, snow here, snow there, snow all over the metro right now, but it did make for a slick morning. We were out on the roads in some of the biggest impact areas near the foothills and around Douglas County. But how are the roads now? Here's the latest look at the Co-Trip map. All that blue on roadways is the metro. It means either snowy parts or icy conditions, so be careful out there. Please be careful driving. And the snow has stopped falling, but are we in store for any more? I keep asking senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi that very question. Are we in store for more?
How much snow at my house, right? That's always the question. Any more snow coming your way? The answer is the snow is done for us in the metro area. Just maybe a few leftover flakes in a few spots, but the accumulating snow, it is done, kaput, over and done with. And not just here. That snow mostly done for us in the mountains as well. But we got a pretty good storm here in the high country. Still some leftover snow showers in the high country today. A footer in just the last 24 hours in Steamboat, as well as Powderhorn out on the western slope. And a lot of the West Elk Mountains doing pretty well. I'll step out of the way so you can get a better look at this. 8, 9, 10 inches for us. So a good needed storm for us in the mountains. I-70 corridor, generally speaking, Keystone, Breck, a lot of the main mountains closer to Denver, about 5, 6, 7 inches out of this storm. So overall, a good storm, no doubt about it. We needed that snow in the mountains, and we got some beneficial free water here along the Front Range as well. That snow, though, starting to pivot more into southeastern Colorado, Burlington, south towards Lamar, and west along Highway 50 towards Pueblo. That's where the steadiest snow is falling right now. Walstenburg, I got a report from my friend George down there, 6 inches of snow and falling heavily there in Huerfano County. They head north into Denver. Seeing some light snow right now as well. The other story, it's cold outside, and that means recently fallen snow, plus, of course, those cold temperatures. That equals black ice. I'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. The list of gas stations in the metro that had diesel accidentally mixed in with regular unleaded gas has been shortened. The wrong fuel was delivered to some King Soopers, Costco's, and Murphy Expresses between Wednesday afternoon and yesterday morning. As of last night, state regulators say they received about a half a dozen complaints. This morning, King Soopers sent an update saying 14, not 22, of its locations were affected, from Castle Rock to Aurora to Boulder. The company says pumps were shut down, diagnostics started, and customers are now being contacted.
So I'm waiting on a claim number. I think at that point I might be going through my insurance instead of theirs, just because it sounds like it's so widespread.
Were impacted, the state's Division of Oil and Public Safety is asking you to call them so they can get a better handle on how widespread this is. If you think you were impacted, you should also contact the gas station where you filled up. Coming up at 4, we'll have advice from a mechanic if you ever run into this problem. A luxury apartment building that was the talk of the town less than 2 years ago now has a high vacancy rate. This is the One River North building over in Denver's River North Art District. It's been open for about 20 months now, and according to our partners at the Denver Business Journal, the vacancy rate is nearly 18%. Compare that to the city average of about 6%. Property management originally estimated the building would be full within 11 months, but price might be a factor. Our partners at Denver Business Journal says there are 14 income-restricted units that go for about $1,700 per month, but the average cost to live in this building is $5,000 per month, and penthouses go for $15,000. The coroner cannot determine the cause of death for a woman who went missing in 2018. 56-year-old Terry Ackerman was last seen in August of 2018. Her remains weren't found until this past September inside a residential garage at her Lochbuie home. Due to the condition of her remains, the coroner's office found no evidence of injuries, but listed both her cause and manner of death as undetermined. An investigation into her death is still underway, and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation is helping Lochbuie police with this case. The FBI is investigating a shooting in Portland, Oregon by a Border Patrol agent that injured 2 people during immigration operations. This all comes as protests are breaking out nationwide after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman Wednesday in Minneapolis. In Minnesota, state and local leaders say they are being shut out of the investigation, even as the Trump administration insists that the shooting was justified. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
This morning, another American city roiled by a shooting during an immigration operation, this time in Portland, Oregon, where a Border Patrol agent shot and injured 2 people during a targeted traffic stop. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson says the car's passenger was an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela involved in a recent Portland shooting, and that they and the driver are both accused of ties to the Tren de Aragua gang. DHS says when Border Patrol agents identified themselves, the driver tried to run them over, and an agent fired defensive shots. The car fled, then called for help. Local police say they can't verify those claims since they responded after the vehicle had left the scene.
The patients were transported to local hospital, and their conditions at this time are unknown.
We're calling on ICE to halt all operations in Portland until a full and independent investigation can take place.
That amid growing protests nationwide over the fatal shooting of 37-year-old Renee Good by an ICE officer in Minneapolis. Investigators say Good, a U.S. citizen and mother of 3, was blocking the road with her car. Video shows officers approach, one stepping in front of the vehicle, and when the driver pulls forward and turns right, an officer fires multiple rounds, killing her. Vice President J.D. Vance defending the officer's actions.
You have a woman who was trying to obstruct a legitimate law enforcement operation. I can believe that her death is a tragedy, while also recognizing that it's a tragedy of her own making.
State and local officials sharply refute the administration's narrative and are outraged that state law enforcement was shut out of the FBI's investigation. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Iran has been largely cut off from the outside world today amid expanding protests. They've led Iranian authorities to black out the internet and cancel flights, and there aren't any phone calls reaching the country either. Iran's supreme leader accused protesters of acting on behalf of President Trump, warning that Tehran would not tolerate people acting as mercenaries for foreigners.